Let's dive into one of the most mind-boggling scenes from Squid Game Season 2. Yes, I'm talking about that bread and lottery moment with the smooth-talking salesman, Gong Yu. If you thought his slap-happy Dak hustle from Season 1 was wild, wait until you see him buying bread in bulk like he's hosting a carb-fueled potluck, only to smash it all to bits like a toddler denied dessert. But this isn't just random chaos. It's a scene packed with meaning that goes deeper than your average loaf of bread. The salesman returns, from slaps to Russian roulette. In Season 1, the salesman introduced us to the deadly games through a simple yet stinging game of dakji. For every round lost, you got slapped so hard it left an imprint on your soul and your cheek. But it was all a ploy to recruit desperate players into the Squid Game arena. Season 2 sees the salesman stepping up his game, pun intended. Instead of slaps, he's now dabbling in Russian roulette. Talk about a glow-up. Or, in his case, a blow-up. But it's not just his games that have escalated. His character takes on a darker, more complex role. Enter the infamous bread and lottery scene. After 3 years of hunting down this elusive man, Gi-hun finally tracks him down. But instead of catching him orchestrating another game, Gi-hun witnesses a scene that's equal parts bizarre and unsettling. The bread, the lottery, and the shame spiral. The scene unfolds as the salesman buys 100 loaves of bread, like he's preparing for a post-apocalypse bake sale, and pairs them with lottery tickets. He heads to a park, a slick smile plastered on his face, and offers these items to the homeless. Each person gets a choice: bread for immediate survival or a lottery ticket for a shot at future riches. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. The catch? If someone picks the lottery ticket and loses, as most do, they can't come back for the bread. And if they beg for it, the salesman turns on his heel and walks away. Harsh. Then comes the pièce de résistance. After all the tickets are handed out and the bread remains untouched, the salesman loses his cool. He stomps on the leftover loaves, smashing them into crumbs in a fit of rage that leaves everyone stunned. It's a tantrum, yes, but it's also a carefully orchestrated breakdown that reveals layers of his fractured psyche. The psychology of self-hatred. Creator Hwang Dong-hyuk spilled the tea on this enigmatic scene in an interview, calling it an expression of the salesman's self-loathing. Beneath that polished exterior, he's riddled with resentment toward his own past. According to Hwang, the salesman lived a tough, rock-bottom life and sees echoes of himself in the people he's tormenting. By punishing them for making risky choices, he's really punishing the person he used to be. The bread represents basic needs, while the lottery ticket dangles the seductive promise of instant wealth. When people choose the ticket, the salesman's anger boils over. Why? Because he's been there. He once gambled with his own life in search of a way out, and now he despises anyone who mirrors that desperation. His tantrum, jumping, stomping, and raging, isn't just about the people around him, it's about his deep-seated hatred for himself. He sees his participation in the Squid Game recruitment process as hypocritical, yet he can't stop. He's both victim and perpetrator, trapped in the very system he condemns, a system designed to break everyone. While the bread scene offers insight into the salesman's tortured psyche, it also reveals a broader truth. No one involved in the Squid Game is truly free. Season 2 dives deeper into the lives of the guards, showing that their masks and guns don't grant them real power. Take No-ul, a triangle guard whose backstory is heartbreakingly grim. She's a North Korean defector trying to earn enough money to reunite with her daughter. Despite her best efforts to stay neutral and avoid cruelty, she's dragged into the organ harvesting side hustle of the games. Her refusal to fully commit to the system puts her at odds with her fellow guards, leading to threats and violence. Sound familiar? The guards are just as desperate as the players, scrabbling to survive in a rigged system. They're not villains, they're victims, forced into roles that perpetuate the cycle of exploitation. Breadcrumbs of truth. Everyone's a pawn. The bread and lottery scene might seem absurd on the surface, but it's a microcosm of Squid Game's central theme: survival at all costs, in a world that thrives on inequality. The salesman's rage highlights the psychological toll of this system. He's not just angry at the people in the park. He's angry at himself, at the structure that forced him into his role, and at the elites who orchestrate it all. Meanwhile, Gi-hun's relentless pursuit of the salesman serves as a reminder of how easy it is to misplace blame. Yes, the salesman is the face of the game, but he's not the true villain. He's just another cog in the machine, as trapped as the guards and players. The real villains, class divide and exploitation. So who's really to blame? The answer lies in the show's commentary on class divides and systemic exploitation. The games exist because of a society that pushes people to the brink, forcing them to make impossible choices for survival. The elite orchestrators, those wealthy, faceless VIPs who treat human suffering as entertainment, are the true antagonists. They exploit the desperate masses, pitting them against each other for their amusement, all while insulating themselves from the consequences. Thoughts: more than just bread. The bread and lottery scene is more than a quirky moment of chaos. It's a symbolic, gut-punching commentary on human desperation, self-loathing, and systemic oppression. Through the salesman's breakdown, we see the cracks in the game's structure and the shared struggles of everyone caught in its web. So next time you're offered a choice between bread and a lottery ticket, remember, it's never just about what's in your hand. It's about the system that put you in that position. What's your take on the bread scene? Think the salesman's outburst is justified or just plain bonkers? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Squid Game deep dives. Until next time, may your choices always be better than his.